Hey everybody, Jillian here for Illustrated Faith's Print and Pray Shop. Today I have a brand new Bible journaling process video for you. Today I'm going to be using Brave Little Tailor's Red Letter Lent 41 card Lenten calendar set. So for today the word is seek, and I'm going to be journaling this somewhere here in Matthew if I can find a free page. In Taylor's card set, like I said, she's got 41 cards and it gives you a little explanation about how to use them. And then she gives us a beautifully illustrated word for every day during the Lenten season, straight from Jesus's words in the Bible. So a lot of people have been working through it already. I know that Shauna Noel has this really adorable little book that she's going through. Taylor, who created these, has been doing an Instagram live each day for each word, so be sure to check that out on her Instagram feed. So let's just a quick look at what some of the cards look like. And then of course you'd have to cut them down into the set like this because they come on an 8.5 by 11 sheet like this. So I printed this guy on sticker paper so that I could use this element for today's entry. And then she also did an elements set that coordinates with it, and so this is, I've used mine, so there is more than this. Oh no. Okay. So it's about 3 sheets, and it coordinates with the illustrations that are in the card set. So this is a separate item, but just to give you an idea of what's included. I'll be using some of these for the entry too. And then this will be really fun. I printed this one on cardstock and these guys on sticker paper. This one would be really fun to punch shapes out of, tabs, things like that. Probably do something like that today. So just wanted to give you a look at what I was going to be using today, and let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to do is get the card that I printed out on sticker paper cut out and get ready to use that for my entry. You could very easily clip in the actual cards if you were to print them on cardstock. Clip them into your Bible, put some journaling on the back, and then just leave it at that. I mean, there's just a ton of ways you can get creative with these, with this card set. I've actually been reading through them and then just writing down what I learn or thoughts or questions even in my quiet time journal. That's how I've been using them, not necessarily doing a journaling Bible entry. But for today, I'm going to go ahead and do an entry in my Bible, and I ended up having a blank page in between Matthew 6 and 7. So I'm just going to, two of the verses in Matthew are actually on the back side of this, but it's no big deal to me to just flip it over and go where I have some free space. So lately I have been obsessed with this periwinkle color. I don't know if you see it in the video, but I'm actually wearing a t-shirt this color, and it's my current favorite. So this color isn't anywhere in the kit or anything like that, but it's just so beautiful, and I've been loving wearing it and now putting it on my Bible pages. So I pulled out a couple paintbrushes. I thought maybe I would paint the paint on with some paintbrushes, but instead I'm going to use Elaine's baby wipe technique because it's just so stinking easy, and I was feeling maybe a little bit lazy. And also you just get a really nice blend when you use the wet wipe with the acrylic paint. They just blend really nicely. So I did that in 3 places on the page, did that first, and I'm going to go ahead and hit that with my heat tool to make sure it's dry before I start building stuff on top of that. So the 3 verses that Taylor has us in today are Matthew 6 verses 33 to 34, where Jesus says, "Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness." Then in Matthew 7 verses 7 to 8, where Jesus says, "Seek and you will find." And then in verse 8 it says, "The one who seeks finds." And then Colossians 3:1, "Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God." So like I said, today is all about seeking, and this is a really great set to work through, a really great reading plan to work through if you are a word nerd, because I actually went onto Blue Letter Bible and looked at what this word meant. And if you just want to geek out for a minute, that word is zeteo, and it means in these verses to seek after, to aim at, or to strive after. So strive after God's kingdom. Or in Matthew 7, it means to seek in order to find. And then Colossians 3:1, keep seeking, keep aiming at, keep striving for, continually seek. And so I had fun because I'm a word nerd, learning that and journaling that and writing that down in my little journal. And then I'm going to bring it over to the margin here. So I'm looking through a bunch of different alpha stickers here, you can see, and that's because the title for this page I want to be Seek and Find. And I wanted to make the word find really big because I think that's the amazing promise that we have, right? Jesus says, seek and you will find, the one who seeks finds. And so I wasn't sure what alphas I wanted to use. I really wanted to keep it light, just use like lighter colors with the periwinkle and the pink that I had chosen. So I found these Studio Calico cardstock stickers in my stash, and they are from like an old scrapbooking kit, and they're this really pretty script, and I don't do like hand lettering or calligraphy or anything like that, so this is great for those of us who maybe don't have that skill set. But the stickers were really fragile, so I actually tore a couple, picking them up and putting them down. And if you are really good at hand lettering, I'm going to ask you to overlook my placement of the stickers here, because the tails don't necessarily line up, like the letters just don't connect. I'm fine with it. I hope you're fine with it. So getting back to this amazing promise that we have, that Jesus tells us, when we seek God, we will find him. And I have a little confession to make. I was wondering like what I was going to talk about, what I was going to journal about when I got to this day. Something from my quiet time journal with you from quite recently, I'm afraid to say. But I just got real talk with God here. There's a little spot in my journal where it kind of like guides you through a quiet time. And in this section, it says, be still and know. And this is what I wrote. I said, I don't even want to read my Bible or write in here, but I know if I come to you, you'll come to me, and you are what I need. And I got real with God. And that's okay. You know, when we seek him, we don't have to have it all together, have ourselves wrapped up nice and tidy. We can ask hard questions. God can handle them. We can get real with him. I mean, we should, right? Because he knows our hearts anyway. And was just super, super honest. And I read my Bible even though I didn't want to. I spent some time in his word, just seeking him, looking for him to reveal himself to me in his word, and wouldn't you know it, that's just what he did. I was actually working through this Lenten card set, and the word for that day was exactly what I needed to kind of shake me out of my funk and get my feet back on the right path. I mean, talk about promise fulfilled, you guys. Aren't those just the best moments? The best moments. When we seek him, we will find him. And I just want to encourage you, again, we don't have to have it all together. We don't have to use super formal language with him, right? We can just get real with him. And I love that so much, that, just love him so much. So the first half of my journaling here, I wrote down a little bit of the word that I learned about, some of the blue letter Bible notes that I had taken, and then kind of wanted to think a little bit more about what I was going to journal on the bottom half of the page. So you can see I got my title down, and then I used some of that It Is Well washi and tore that in tube and used that to help keep the tab down at the top, and then put it down at the bottom just to repeat it. I like symmetry. And I'm going to go ahead and get my journaling down on the bottom half of the page. So just really thanking God for his promise, and then just pleading. I always want to seek his purpose instead of the things of the world, instead of what the world may say about things or me, and really just letting him know that I want my concentration to be on him. So I had to consciously leave a little bit of room here at the bottom because I wanted to put this one flower. I was really, really struggling with where to put this last guy. I'm sure you saw that. I was thinking maybe I should put him after the word find, but then that looked a little cluttered up towards the top, so I ended up settling down here at the bottom. And just moving things around. Yeah, I really just want to put something there after that word. It's kind of like just a weird empty space, but I am going to leave it empty. I need to leave some breathing room on the page, I think. the second to last thing I'm going to do is date stamp the entry using the Date It roller date stamp with just a little arrow actually pointing the wrong way to the verses that I'm recording here, the 2 in Matthew and then the 1 in Colossians, just as a reminder that I was journaling those and to flip back to those. And then for the tab, I really wanted the word seek up top, but for the life of me, I could not find a Wordfetti that said seek. I must have already used it or something. So I went to these little tile alphas that I think were included in the Genesis kit, but they're in the olive color, and then I just pulled out the letters to spell seek, and that's it. So that's gonna do it for me. That's my red letter Lent entry for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you're interested in picking up any of the supplies I've used, I got them all listed in the video description below. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.